Now we will discuss some cases related to our topic atrial fibrillation. These MCQs are from the many sources like MBOS, USMLE, Step 1, CK. Now we will discuss one by one so that we see which and what are the symptoms, signs and symptoms, and which are the complications with which patient present to us. First, our first scenario is 36 56-year-old man comes to the emergency department due to the chest palpitations. He feels that his heartbeat is fast and irregular. The patient has no chest pain, shortness of breath, dizziness. Physical examination confirms the presence of an irregular rhythm with a heart rate of 230 per minute. He hosted a party last night and consumed a large amount of alcohol. The patient normally drinks only 2 to 3 times of a year. He is otherwise healthy and takes no medication. Now the question will be, what is the diagnosis, what will be the ECG findings, what will be the management. So first of all, we see what are the risk factors in this patient for the atrial fibrillation. Chest palpitations, this is the sign and symptoms. The heartbeat is fast and irregular. As we earlier mentioned in our topic, the rhythm in case of atrial fibrillation is irregular. Then on physical examination, the beat is irregular. Heart rate is 230 per minute, which is very high. And there is also a patient last night consumed a large amount of alcohol, and we already mentioned that in case of binge alcohol there is a risk of acute atrial fibrillation, and we call it holiday night syndrome. So what is the diagnosis atrial fibrillation on the case of rhythm, heart rate, and the history. What will be the ECG finding? ECG finding will be the absence of P wave, or there is the fibrillary waves. What is the management in case of this? We will wait and observe the patient for the recurrent atrial fibrillation. If it subsides on its own, we do not interfere or give any treatment. In case of recurrent atrial fibrillation, we proceed previous management according to previous management we discussed earlier. Then the next case is a 61-year-old man with a 5-year history of COPD comes to the physician for a follow-up examination. He has had episodes of palpitation over the past week. His only medication is tiotropium formoterol inhaler. His pulse is 140 per minute, irregular. Respiratory rate is 17 per minute and BP is 116/70. Pulse oximetry on the room air shows saturation 95%. Lungs are clear to auscultation. Cardiac examination shows no murmur, rabs or gallops. Serum concentration of electrolytes is normal. Serum concentration of electrolytes, TSH and cardiac troponins are with the reference range. What is the most appropriate next step in the case of management? Now, increase age, history of COPD. These are the risk factors for the increased age, and COPD, pulmonary disease are the risk factor for the atrial fibrillation. Now in history, palpitations over the week, and pulse is 140 and irregular, which is indicated our diagnosis of atrial fibrillation. Saturation is normal and other things are normal. Now what is the most appropriate next step? Does we do the cardioversion? Does we we give the metoprolol, propranolol, or either we do the diltiazem? What we do in this case, as patient is vitally stable, we do this rate control strategy, which is either we prescribe the beta blockers or calcium channel blockers. Now in this case we do not give the beta non-specific, especially non-specific beta blocker, as patient is COPDic, and beta blockers can cause bronchoconstriction and increase the dyspnea. So in case we what we do the rate control and we give the verapamil to the patient. Now in the third case, a 63-year-old man comes to the ER because of the retrosternal chest pain, 7/10 in intensity. He has coronary artery disease, hypertension, type 2 diabetes. His current medication are aspirin, simvastatin, metformin, enalapril. He has smoked one pack of cigarette daily for 33 years. On arrival, his pulse is 136 per minute, respiratory 20, BP is 85/55. The lung circulatory auscultation, cardiac examination shows no abnormalities. Which is the most appropriate next step in this patient? Now the most appropriate step for this patient is the synchronized cardioversion. Now why this is, we will discuss this. Risk factors in this patient are the increased age and coronary artery disease, hypertension, diabetes. These are the risk factors for the atrial fibrillation. Now patient present with which are the signs which show patient is hemodynamically unstable are the retrosternal chest pain, tachycardia, tachypnea, and hypotension. These things show patient is hemodynamically unstable and we want to achieve the sinus rhythm and we do synchronized cardioversion in this patient. So we do not do the rate control, as we do not give the beta blockers or calcium channel blockers because they further exaggerate the condition of the patient, as they can cause hypotension and bronchoconstriction in patient further deteriorate. So we do this synchronized cardioversion. So the most appropriate next step is the synchronized cardioversion. In case later on we prescribe the anticoagulants, and in this patient, what will be the Chadwick score in age 60? It must be the 65 to 74. So in this patient, Chadwick score in case of coronary artery disease score is 1, hypertension score is 1, diabetes score is 1. So total score is 3. So then we will prescribe the anticoagulants.